I didn't.
No.
Just
Oh, then I'll. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir, you want to start?
I got it. You're up, Mr. Chen.
I'll use my computer to share.
Yeah, Nick, you're still awake. I can't believe it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm hanging in there.
Nick, I got some especially exciting
Ooh,
questions for you to be awake.
this homework's just for Nick.
I'm gonna coffee.
And you're gonna give me money if you can't answer.
Oh my goodness, the pressure is on.
I'm gonna share the screen.
I'll pay you rent for using your house for Xuanzang's tower.
Whoa,
Okay, got it.
that's never gonna happen. Don't let him think about it.
Okay. Welcome back to Abhidharma class. This is the fourth one. This is the fourth one. I'm having trouble connecting the previous classes because we are just starting this new text, Abhidharma Samuchaya, by the older brother of Master Vasubandhu, who is Arya Asanga. So I need some help from all of you. So in the last class 3, back in Kyoto, Geshe taught this verse summary for the whole book. Dumni. He said Dumni.
Just don't.
Oh, don't.
Yeah.
And it's generally used for memorizing the core ideas of the whole book or a big chunk of the book, so you know what's going on. It's a summary in verses. And so that's the first question. Here are Tibetan. Here are some English notes of the keywords. And then I found
Ancient Chinese.
I found the ancient Chinese from Dunhuang Cave.
Yay, don't want cave.
And it doesn't match.
Whoa.
Well, actually, 60%, 70% of the keywords match.
Okay.
But how we put them together, it's what I'm having problem with. So it mentions about definition of things, presentation, order of the things, and it mentioned about metaphor and the point of the metaphor. And he also mentioned there are 4 summaries, 4 samuchayas in a way, and 4 discernments, and the truth and the Dharma. There's definite divisions, and that's the summary of the whole book. Yeah, if we don't understand it, it feels like Arya Asanga is trying to confuse us. So if any of you have any ideas, I would love to hear, because I'm working with Master Word to match the Tibetan English and Chinese, and we haven't succeeded yet. Yeah. Any of you have any ideas, like how to put them together?
So you're asking to match the phrases that are in English, phrases that are in the Tibetan.
Or if you can make sense with the Tibetan and the English keyword notes, that would be very helpful too.
Well, the second line is this will be a presentation of those definitions. So that's the first one.
Okay. Did it mention definition of what, or?
No, it just says no, it just says presentations. A presentation of those senite.
Okay. Well, a bigger problem I have is the 4 summaries or 4, what do you call it, discernments.
That's coming.
It's coming?
Yeah, your whole class is about this.
Oh,
Yep.
let's leave it.
And it's a long story.
Okay, maybe that's why
I mean,
it's
it's
confusing.
It's a long story.
Okay, okay. It doesn't.
Yeah, it's gonna be confusing like this. Yeah.
Okay, even after the class.
No, after class it'll be semi-confusing.
Okay. Okay.
Yes,
the
Stan,
uh-huh.
the 4 discernments are line Nampar Nepa Sheriye. 4 things to be done. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and the truth and the Dharma does match the Chinese. So I think we got the verses, but we need a flow to put them together.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, let's move on because we'll have some hope from the coming class.
it's coming.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Question number 2. What are the 5? So this is interesting because Gyaltsab J is quoting the younger brother, Master Vasubandhu, his book, The Logic of the Explanation, which doesn't exist in Chinese. I checked it seems like it only exists in Tibetan, not even Sanskrit. And but I found some recent ancient scholar who translated some part of this book into Chinese. So we are quoting 5 points. You can say 5 ways of explaining any classic book. It can apply to any classic book. It's his methodology, basically, of writing commentaries or teaching any book, which is really useful for all of us who are doing teachings. Anyone remember anything? 5 points?
Gyaltsab.
If it's the 5, I think it is. The first one is purpose,
Purpose? Yep.
Nice.
and like a summary. That's the second one, abbreviation.
Right, abbreviated summary.
And the third one is an explanation of the book.
Right. Or you can say the words.
Okay.
Yeah.
Things relating to the book.
Or how they relate to each other also. How different
Okay.
parts of the book they related to, like
Right.
the relationship.
Okay.
Arguments and response.
Great. Yeah. Yeah. That's it. That's it.
Great. Nice. Notes are good. Notes are the first step.
Yeah. So yeah, it's cool. So to put it in plain English, when you teach something new to people, tell them what's it for. What can you achieve? It's a selling thing that Peter always do. And then second thing is, what are you going to teach me if I want to reach this goal? What am I learning from you? So it's a summary or abbreviated meaning of the book. And then they want to go deeper. So you take them through the words carefully in details. And then if you want to take them deeper, you can teach them how different parts of the book or chapters of the book relate to each other. Basically like the structure of the book in a way. That's my understanding. And then the last one is some difficult points that is worth some arguments or some questions and some response, some answers. The Chinese is there. Next one is gonna be interesting. This is for Nick, who are trying to be awake. What's the flow of this fight? Is there any logical relationship? Anyone want to try?
Well,
Peter? Yeah.
I mean, obviously, when you understand what's in it for you, the point of the purpose, you probably want to have a trailer first, like how much is that?
He said the first thing, if you know the purpose, then you want a trailer. Yeah.
You want to see how much effort you have to put into it. And
Right.
The trailer is interesting. You want to know the whole thing.
Right.
And then when you have the whole thing, you want to know how you can use it, basically, how you can, how is it. You want to get deeper in how it works.
Great.
And then finally, you probably have more deep questions and kind of you mull it through in your mind.
Beautiful. Yeah. It's very close to what Master Bandhu said. Very close, very close. Let's see. The English are a little rough. I'll translate the Chinese, it's more precise. It says if you hear about the benefits of the book, then you have respect for it. That's why we teach it first. or the goal. And then you teach the summary of the whole book. And then you teach the detailed meaning of the words, the wordings. And these two has some order. First you do the summary first, then you do the wording. And then you talk about how different parts of the book connect to each other. Then you can see the actual structural order. The last thing is you talk about difficult points through argument and response so that people understand there is no conflict among different parts of the book.
Right.
Yeah, that's basically the idea. So I have 5 sexy Tibetan words for
I
you.
think this doesn't have a why. Yeah.
Okay.
I think right word, Gyaltsab, right? Yeah,
Gyaltsab?
And cow.
I think.
It's supposed to have a B too in this case, right, Ken?
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
BRG.
Sorry.
Yeah.
BR.
I think. Yeah. I think.
Gal. What is it?
Call and response.
Yeah, argument
Argument
and
and
response.
response,
Yeah. Then Sen Chen
Some judge.
Some
Chen Some Chen.
The
Some
connection.
How they
Some
relate.
Nice.
Yeah, how they relate to each
Yeah.
other. So can I say relationship, but it's too much?
That's okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Sit Dun Che.
The meanings of the word.
Meanings of the
Yeah,
word.
meaning of the words.
Okay.
Du Be Dun Che.
That's
The meaning that's included.
The
Or the
abbreviated
abbreviated
meaning.
The abbreviated.
Abbreviated. Yeah.
Like summaries.
Summary. Like summary.
Yeah. Okay.
Du Ba.
purpose.
Purpose, need.
Yeah, so it's the
Right.
backward order of the 5.
Nice.
Yeah.
Uh,
And now is the attempted translation helped by Master Word.
Okay, good. Can you read it in Tibetan first, Stanley?
Yeah.
Dayon.
Deyang Tokma Nimpa Hang Zimbala Dube Chetu Gomba or Guba
Yeah.
Juba Ja
Yep.
Yin
Chawa Yin.
Jawa Yin.
I have to make a comment here. This mistake is so dangerous that I can see, and I've experienced it in your book so far. The carving has eloquent mistakes in it. So it's gonna be a real challenge. So this is not a stupid mistake. The person has put a very attractive word, important word, possible word, and not correct. And so someone who knew what they were doing has edited this probably before it was carved. And they put in some really, dangerous errors because they're possible, but they're wrong. Okay, so this is gongba, which means the true intent of something. But that's not at all what the first one is. It should be gupa without the ng, which is a very unusual error. The person who inserted this error was good and dangerously good and wrong. So I think it's going to be like that in this book. It's going to take some very delicate correcting the woodblock. So here we go. And by the way, we already threw out one carving as two wrong, and now looks like we went to we're gonna have another one, but this one's more fun because this person is really intelligent. Okay, so here we go. Tokmar initially, Nyambadan Zimbala. This Zimba is Swadhyaya.
Oh, reciting?
Yep. Lolad Simba for reciting purposes. Yeah. To memorize. Lolad Simba. Yeah. So the first thing, it takes a big investment of time to study this book which is what, 50 years we said or something. We're looking at how many years? 40 years.
I stopped counting.
Yeah, no, we're looking at maybe 40 years to finish this book. It's a big investment of time to learn a book, and then especially in ancient times to memorize it. Okay, Lola Zimba. Okay, so Kupa means, yeah, we want the person to think aside kind of a reverence for the process of learning this book in class and then going home and memorizing it. Okay, and this Kupa means we want them to feel so lucky to have the chance to study this book and memorize it. Okay, and they're not going to invest that kind of time unless it has a gupa and not a gongba.
Yeah, right. It's
Okay.
not a gongba is like true intent.
Deeper intent.
Yeah,
I mean, it's possible. That's the problem. It's
Right,
not.
right.
It's not correct.
Yeah,
What's the gupa? Because we know from what we already learned.
a purpose.
Yeah, if this book doesn't have a very, very, deep purpose, convincing
Right.
purpose, compelling purpose. If it doesn't have a compelling purpose, I don't know why I should spend 10 years, 20 years studying. Okay, so it's a sales job. It's gupa, jupa job. Yeah, we must at the very outset, we must say, here's why this book is important. Here's what you're going to get out of this book. So naturally, that should go first. Okay, gupa, what's the benefit or what's the need to study this book? Okay, good.
Cool.
Yeah, the translation's good. Translation's okay. In other words, they would feel. Where's the respect? Can you pull it up?
Goodbye.
Yeah, they have to respect the book enough to want to spend the time. Okay. So therefore, the first thing you should isolate is why. Why study the book? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Great.
But the person doesn't have. Yeah. Okay. Gopateya patseme topa. This is a little bit different. We're hoping that our reader or our student will topa with an S.
Understand?
Will realize, okay, not think. Without an S, it means think, maybe. With an S, it means grasp. What? Well, we're hoping that they will use sema.
Perception, relative.
Accurate perception.
Accurate perception.
Accurate perception to see that the gupa,
There is.
yeah. So the first half of this second sentence says, we're hoping that the potential student will tokspa with their sedma that the gupa is yupa. What's that mean?
That it has a purpose.
Yeah, we're hoping that they will have an accurate perception wherein they realize, and the spelling of retox is so powerful, it cannot be translated as think. It has to be translated as realize. Okay, we want them to realize with their own personal accurate perception that gopa yu.
There is purpose.
And then, I'm sorry, that sema depends on another state of mind. Okay, that perception that the book is worth studying depends on another perception. Okay, rakle. Okay, the realization that there's a reason to study this book depends on didn't topa.
The brief meaning, the summarized meaning.
Yeah, they got to have some general idea what the whole book is about.
Before they can
And
understand.
then they can say, then they can have a sema that this is worth something.
I see.
And then they can have the decision to spend the time.
I see.
So first they have to, is this book worth studying? And give me an elevator pitch. You know? Give me a 2-minute description of your. Give me a 2-minute description of your 40-year project, and I'll tell you whether I think I should spend my time on it. So it's interesting. He has a list of points about this book, and the list is backwards.
Oh, you mean the first point is the goal to reach? Back
Yeah,
then?
the first point should be the last point by the end.
Oh.
I want to study this book. Oh, well, you better hear a summary of it first, or you're not going to know whether you should study it. Okay, got it? It's a Vasabandhu. And the fascinating thing, as Stanley alluded to, is that this complex relationship between these two brothers, where the younger brother was going to cut his tongue out, if you remember, and then was given a 20-year project by his brother, you know, and they must have been competitive in some way. They had the same mom, different fathers, different social statuses. And here's the younger brother advising the older brother about the proper steps to undertake writing one of his greatest classics. The younger brother's telling the older brother how to write one of his greatest classics. You could write a play about this. What?
Isn't the younger brother, wouldn't he have been older than the older brother because the older brother disappeared?
That's a point. You got us. The story is the older brother spent time in heaven and lost 50 years. Tim's the baby. Okay, next line.
Make it wide.
It's okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this raklepa over and over means depends on. Okay, depends on. It's another way of saying BRTEN, to rely upon. Okay, raklepa is an ancient word for to rely upon. Getting a nutshell summary of the book, which you need to understand the purpose of the book, that also depends on sikten topa.
Oh, meaning of the words?
Ratokspa those done.
Understanding.
Yeah, of grasping the meaning of the words. Okay. Here, I'll give you a short. You ready? I'll give you a short summary of this book. You ready? So if you don't understand the short presentation, it doesn't help. So he says the third point here is you better understand what the words mean of the short presentation, or you can't understand the short presentation, which you need to understand the purpose of the book. He's going backwards in his life.
Wow.
Okay, got it?
That means you have to study the whole book anyway.
Yeah, you have to study the whole book before you know if the book is worthwhile. It's an old Buddhist trick. Okay, number 4. Yeah, you can understand the wording in point 3 if you understand that the korim is logical. Korim means the order of the presentation. And that gets into a very deep subject, which we're going to explore this time. The name of the book is Abhidharma Samuchaya. Samuchaya means a collection or a compendium.
Right.
And there's 4 Samuchayas. The Samuchaya is made of 4 Samuchayas.
Inside this Samuchaya.
Inside the Samuchaya, there's 4 Samuchayas.
Right.
Okay, there's 4 summaries inside the summary. Okay, and so there's an order to this 4 summaries.
Sure, yeah.
And inside of them, they have different points.
Right.
So is it logical? Is the flow? So number 4 is all about flow. Korim means flow. Okay, is the flow Goa or not Goa?
Contradict.
Yeah, does the flow make sense or not?
Oh.
Okay, does the flow make sense or not? And that depends on samjar, means how was the book put together? Was the book put together in a logical flow?
Okay.
Okay. If the book has been put together in a logical flow, you can understand the wording of the summary, which will help you understand the purpose. We covered 4 things. Now, what's the 5th one?
Yeah, arguments and
Yeah. So there's different kinds of rikpa with an S. Yeah, there's different kinds of logic.
Okay.
When you use the 3rd kind of pramana, what's it depend upon?
authority.
Authority.
Authority, yeah.
Yeah. Is this book correct? Can I trust this book? That's one of the types of logical perception. Yeah. Can I trust this book? Can I trust this author? Can I trust this speaker? And one of the tests in that kind of logic is ngachi.
Internal consistency.
Yeah.
Does what they say later match what they said
Before.
earlier? Okay. And with any human being, that's a pretty good test of their integrity. Like, does what he says match what he said last year? Or is it consistent with what he said last year? You see what I mean? And that's the ngachi here. Ngachi means it's one of the tests of logic. Is this person's teaching consistent over time, or do they contradict themselves? Okay. Secondly, is it rikspa internally? Today, forget yesterday, forget what they said last year. Does it have rikspa now?
Does it make sense?
Yeah, does it make sense in the present moment? Okay. A, does it contradict what they said before? That's one kind of logic. Secondly, does what they say this morning or what they say later this morning match, or does it make sense, or does it contradict itself? Okay, good. And that's the process of Gyaltsab.
Debate.
Argument, logical argument. And it means internal logical argument of the student. Did this teacher's statements from the past and the present fit each other? And the student has to debate themselves, and that's Gyaltsab. Very interesting. Gyal means they have to raise contradictions, and Len, they have to answer them. So Gyal and Len, 2 processes here, Gyal, Dang, Len. The good student will raise questions about the teacher and the teacher's teaching, and then they will answer them. Gyal, Len. Cool. By the way, what's another word based on this one word for $100?
Yes.
Gul?
Huh?
Gul?
Nice, $100.
Yay!
Now, that's 33 for each girl. Okay, that leaves for Papa. Collect. If I was you, I would collect 100 from Rob Haggerty, 100 from Ellie, and 100 from Shelpine.
That's what I've been doing, Geshe.
Thank you, I'm disciplined. Okay,
What's the word he said, by the way?
say again.
What's the answer he gave?
I forgot what the answer.
Gul, RGOL, like a debater.
Nago.
Oh, go.
Chigo means Nago means what Chigo means later debater, and Nago means earlier debater. And that's a way to say in Buddhist debate, the person who initiates the debate and the person who answers the debate. They're called earlier arguer and later arguer. So that verb is here. You see a version of that verb here with Gal. BRGAL is a form of that word RGOL, which means debater. Okay. Len means logical answer. Denla Papa means you have to present Shepaja. You have to understand the presentation to really appreciate whether or not you should get into this book. You have to question it in Buddhism. It's very beautiful. It's wonderful. Okay. In Buddhism, the first thing to do, if you go backwards in this list, is to question the teacher. And the best students I've ever had were people who were pain in the ass. And they kept asking me questions about stuff, Okay,
Cool.
they're curious and they want to know why.
On that note, boss, can I ask a question?
I was thinking about you.
I don't know. I mean, if you want to take the time of his precious book that he only gets once a month,
Uh-oh.
and you want that karma, I don't know.
Do it, Ben, do it.
Oh, early to the team. That's the problem.
Instigators.
I'm always
Okay.
extraordinary with him here. Just so this is not three things, right? Ngachi, Rigpa, and Mingelwa, but this is Mingelwa applying to Ngachi and Rigpa. Like it looks like three things.
That's how I would translate it. Yeah, but I think it could be argued. It's an arguable point. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would it even be the other way? I just read it wrong and I just
Yeah, I mean, I separated out the Ngachi
yeah.
because it's on my mind.
Mhm.
I saw it just yesterday or something. Oh, yeah, it was in the different kinds of a confirmation of authority. It's a big subject in authority. The 3 tests of gold, actually. We had it in DCI yesterday or the day before, and that discusses Ngachi, this point. And that's what happens if you spend all day with the scriptures. All right, here we go. Back to the book. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, that's not your book. That's another book. I gotta get rid of these guys. Hang on. Oh, that's not up to me. I'll be Sam. Hey, I'll be Sam. I'm sorry, I should have done this before. Okay. Where are we? Oh, there it is. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Wait.
Yeah, we did finish the last slide.
You did?
No.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
This one.
Yeah. Okay, good. Here we go. Okay, Stanley, pick on somebody to read because your reading is too good.
Oh, please. You here? Hello?
Nipala ni dun nga nge shepada
I'm on his side.
lenam shaki sik dun jedrak to shepao.
Nice. This is one of those outlines where they don't tell you what number 2 is. So he says point number 2 has 2 points. And I always go and get it for you. It's kapsupape dunshepa means let's get down to the real stuff. Kapsupapa means what has come down. Let's get down to the real subject here. Okay. The relevant point. How's that?
Oh,
Okay. We're gonna give, by the way, we're at the beginning of a 40 to 50 year project. And he says you can kind of summarize this whole book in Dunga.
5.
Yeah, in 5 topics. Okay.
Okay. 5.
And they happen to be the same 5.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they are.
Oh.
I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, we'll get there.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to use those same 5 ideas. Like, let's talk about the arguments. Let's talk about the meaning of the words. Okay.
Oh.
And then we're going to explain Shepa in detail the meaning of the Lu Namshak means the presentation of the entire body of the text. Lu here, body,
Right.
means body of text, which we also use in English for the whole book. The body of the text. Okay, so we're gonna outline the whole 40-year project in a bunch of sections, and then we're gonna get into the separate parts. Okay, of the body of the text. Keep going.
Let's see.
Dumbo. Oh, yeah. Who's gonna read?
Anastasia.
It's a very popular Russian.
Yeah,
Anastasia.
Anastasia. Okay, you want to try?
Yeah. Dampolana le, dampotan chodi, chope doni,
Nice.
donsu di la ten, ne di, choja tokpain la.
Good. Nice. Very nice. You sound like one of those word refugees. All right. Tumbalov, the first one, which is kind of overview, has
First one have five parts.
five
again?
parts. Yep.
Oh.
And it's the same 5 parts, actually. Okay, we'll get there.
Okay. Starting to get confusing.
Yeah, it is confusing. And I'm going to give you the first of the 5, which was what?
Purpose.
Purpose. Why should I study this book?
Hmm.
What do I get out of it? Okay. And he says, Dambo, Tenja di Gupa. What's the purpose of this scripture, of this commentary? Okay. Meaning the Abhidharma Samuchaya. Okay. What's the Gupe Deni? Okay. What can I get out of this book? Okay. And now we're going to get detailed answer. All right. And he says, Nusu di la tena, if you bend yourself Musu to this book.
Into and
Directly.
Oh.
If you rely on this book directly, okay. If you use this particular book to guide your practice, di jujato, you will talk with an S. You will realize it's subject matter. Okay, juja means subject matter. Okay,
makes sense.
Okay. Well, the uber purpose, the over purpose, the grand purpose, and then he's going to have a bunch of little purposes. Okay, the grand purpose is we want you to understand. We want you to learn the topic that this book is talking about. That's why we wrote the book.
Yeah.
We want you to say, wow, that's great. I understand. So that's why. Okay. What's the reason to study this book? You'll understand it. You'll understand the main points in the book. That's the over purpose.
Which is Abhidharma here.
Abhidharma, yeah, Abhidharma. Yeah. Abhidharma, by the way, is the 700 years of philosophical thought immediately following Lord Buddha. Okay, and he came at the end, and he wrote a summary of it. Okay, then came the big disruptor.
Yeah,
Nagarjuna. Okay, good. Okay, all right. Gyapana. This Gepa means in detail. Gyapana means if in detail. And what it means when you're translating is, would you like some detail?
Yeah.
So he said, look, the over purpose of this whole book is to understand all the topics in the book. But there's other short-term goals in the book. And by the way, when you read these goals, you might get more interested in this book. And that's the whole purpose. Right? So he's got a logic to his flow. He's trying to convince us to keep reading his book, okay, about the book. Got it? Okay, and I numbered them for you.
Wow.
He's got 9 different purposes. Okay. And these are lesser purposes under the grand purpose. The grand purpose is understand the book, practice it, become Buddha. And then the lesser purposes that contribute to the grand purpose. Here we go. Who's going to read, Stanley? You are the...
Yeah, let me choose a person. 王老师要试一下吗？我们一起念一下 Vivian.
Yay! Hi, Vivian. We love you. I forgot to say Xiaoping's allergic to Abhidharma Samuchaya.
Yeah, but it's in the house. Too late.
Okay.
B.
Lam, la,
Dulcha.
Gyaltsab
古茶，
你看到我 Hepba
对，爬，
and
爬，
Chamboy
全部，
Yeah.
Rick
reach,
yeah Rick Chen
Nice.
reaching, re,
Nam
nắm, nắm tháp, phá,
Hep
bá,
Yeah.
nắm tháp, bá,
Sung Ki
tung khí, lắm,
yeah
lắm,
Nam
lắm, mic,
Hep
pick,
Hepa
phá, phá, phá,
Yawa.
phá,
Gyawatang
Chawatang.
Kawada.
Okay, here's 9 specific purposes for this book. 9 specific purposes to study this book. Dulja. Xiaoping translated Dulwa.
Oh tame your mind something like that
Yeah, it means object of Dulwa.
oh
Disciple.
Wild horse.
Mhm.
Dulja.
Mhm.
Yeah, Dulja means disciple,
Discipline.
discipline, thing to be disciplined.
Yeah.
It means wild horse. Okay. So if the Dulja,
Mhm.
if the disciple is take Pachimbo.
Oh big Buddhist no
Yeah, if they're
Mahayana.
oh
Rig, if they belong to the Mahayana class
ah.
of people, okay.
Mhm.
Our goal, and by the way, can we say that his earlier ones are maybe more important to him of the 9? I don't know.
Mhm.
But I want those Mahayana students to become Kippa,
Masters.
masters. I want them to become masters.
Wow.
What? Of the Tekpasun,
Three
Triyana, the 3
All 3 ways.
oh
the
wow
3 tracks. I want them to become masters of the 3 tracks.
Wow.
Lam, they should understand the 3 tracks within the path of the 3 tracks.
Mhm.
What are the 3 tracks here? I'll tell you what they're not. How's that?
Hinayana, Mahayana, and Vajrayana.
Yeah, Hinayana, open Mahayana,
yeah.
and secret Mahayana. That's not the 3 here.
It's the listeners right?
Yeah.
It's
The
self-made
self-made listener.
Listeners, self-made Buddhists, and
Mahai
Bodhisattvas. Yeah,
Bodhisattva.
yeah. Okay. All right. But it's interesting that who does he want to master the 3 tracks? The Bodhisattva track people.
Oh, yeah.
Wow yeah
That's a very
cool
Why? Because this book is,
Mahayana Abhidharma oh I'm sorry
yeah,
wow yeah
this book is higher way, lower way.
Hi. Oh
Yeah, whoa.
oh you
That's-
mean both
Yeah,
oh yeah
you
right.
just said that.
Right.
It's a Mahayana Hinayana text.
Yeah okay.
Okay, it's a very unusual text. It's a crossover.
Mm,
It's a historical crossover and a philosophical crossover between the Mahayana and the Hinayana.
mm,
It is the ultimate crossover book between the 2.
mm, mm.
Okay. So the first goal of the 9 mini goals is specifically if the student is Mahayana, we want them to master all of the yanas. Why?
Sure.
Yeah, you can't teach people of every capacity if you don't understand all the capacities. So you might have to learn lower philosophical ideas in case you run into a lower philosophically minded student. Okay, got it? Your toolkit should be big.
Mm,
And it takes a lot of time to master the lower teachings. And it's not a waste of time because you might meet someone who needs that.
mm,
Okay.
cool. Mhm.
Okay. So that's kind of his first of his 9 mini goals
Right.
after the big goal. Here's the second mini goal. Who's gonna read Stanley?
Chloe, please.
You want to come up?
Yeah.
You can sit on this side, it'd be easier for you. Okay.
You can move this. Awesome.
Help.
Palpate
Du cha Nien rang ki Rinchen nam kyang
Nice.
di la lap pe rang ki lam la kam pe chawat ke pe par chawatam.
You want to leave her up here and pick on her more?
What do you mean, Geshe?
I mean, let's finish this sentence and make her do more.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, good. Pelpa means normal as opposed to special. Okay, Pelpa means normal as opposed to special.
Does this mean like if we in English would say, oh, that person's special, they're at, like in a sarcastic way?
No, this Pelpa means the great majority of disciples.
Oh,
Kind of like medium range disciples. Okay, medium capacity disciples. Dulja disciples who Niente and Rangsangye. Listeners and self-made Buddha disciples. Lower two tracks.
Okay.
He already covered the person who's on the higher track because they're on all three tracks. Okay. And Yenrang, Rinchen means that type. Riks here means class or type, personality type. Okay. If they're lower personality type. Okay. By the way, what distinguishes them normally is they're working for themselves. And they're not particularly working for others. So let's say we have students who are that type of student. We still are responsible for them. Namkyang, Dila Lap misspelled elegantly. Okay, and you know this really scares me. Okay, this is the Lap in Jin, which means blood, or this means wave on an ocean. And it's a word. It's a real word. It's an elegant word. It's an unusual important word. And it's totally wrong here. It should be slups, which means to study. Okay. If they study this book, okay, not if they're a wave on the ocean of this book, they will rank. And by the way, that's the lap in Jinlap, which means blessing. So it's a difficult word. Again, Ranki Lamla, they will become Kepa
my masters.
in Ranki Lam,
Your own path.
Our
in
path.
their own teaching.
Yeah.
Me, the Mahayana guy, has written a book from the Hinayana point of view to help the poor Hinayana guys who are not too good at their Hinayana point of view. Okay, it's a funny thing to say. I wrote a book so that you guys who won't agree with it will understand your system better. Okay, that's very Nagarjuna.
Yeah, isn't that what he did in the 60 verses again, pretty much?
That's what the 60 verses is. You're totally right. Let's make Chloe do one more sentence because she's so good at it. You got the cursor.
Tek pa chempoi de la ma tok pa tang lok pa tak pa tang tok pa tang te song sa wei ma shuk pa nam la chuki ki.
There's a problem there.
Oh.
There's something wrong. It's two keys in a row, and one of them is wrong.
I see.
Rang chi ten ni manor wei ten ne
War.
war manor war
Yeah.
ten ne takpa tempo la shuk patang.
Nice. Nice reading. Okay, thank you. Yay. Take the temple, Stanley.
The great
Mahayana. Yeah.
Fact.
Delu means
Yeah.
basket. Pitaka. Like Tripitaka. Tripitaka. Okay. Those. Now he says. Now it's interesting. Goal number 3. He goes back to the Mahayana people. We already covered the Mahayana people. But now he says, by the way, there's a subcategory of Mahayana people. Who are they? Well, there's a lot of stuff Matopa. There's a lot of stuff they didn't get. There's people who say they're Mahayana who don't get most of the Mahayana. So that's another reason why I love this book. Okay. Or they even have a motto. They even miss some good stuff. Okay. Either they didn't get there or they misunderstood it when I taught it before, Mahayana. Or the worst one is the Tetsom guys. Doubts. They have doubts. And in Tibetan, the verb is to eat a doubt or to chew on a doubt. Sawa means to chew. Okay. So there's people who are chewing on their doubts. Therefore, they don't really take Pachambalanjuk. They don't really enter the Mahayana. They say they're Mahayana. But either they don't get it, or they misunderstood it, or they have doubts about it, and they never really got into the Mahayana. Mashupanama. This KYIS shouldn't be here. And it's a very odd. Somebody went through this and corrected it like they were talented and wrong. Okay. Cheki. Now he's talking about the tseni, meaning the qualities or the characteristics, not definition here. It doesn't mean definition here. It means qualities. Rang or chi, the things that make a thing, rang or chi.
Rinchen and Chichen?
Rinchen, Chichen. Whose text we had it in?
Adam?
Was it Adam?
Yeah.
The thing as an idea, car, quotation marks, as an idea, and then the thing you're going to drive home.
Right.
Hopefully. Okay. Rangchi. So this means I want them to understand the concept, and I want to understand the applications, the general ideas and the actual things. Rangchit Seni, and I don't want them to norwa.
Be mistaken about it.
And I don't want them to be mistaken about it. Then I will teach them in an unmistaken way about the general and specific qualities of all things. And then they will truly tekpa, chambala, njupa.
Enter the Mahayana.
I'm going to take care of pseudo Mahayanas. Okay, cool. Yeah. All right. We can still have some time, I hope. Yeah.
Geshe.
We should go all night. All right.
So the chu is just things here, like the like Rangsen and Chichen of things. So chuki without the s.
Yeah, it's a common expression. You can say the Rangsen of chu and the Chichen of chu.
Got it.
You got what I mean?
Yep. Thank you.
Okay, good. Nice question.
It seems like that's the Abhidharma thing, right? To divide everything.
Well, it's a very second school. It probably leaked into the first school also. Okay. All right. Who's going next then?
Lindsay, please.
Lindsay, you want to come over here? Okay. You do the cursor, okay?
Suksu Zin Kyang Gongpa Na Soki Tenpe Do Ge Bring Dupa Sok To Na Go Mong Par Gyurwa Nampa Nanla, sorry. Pen Gakpatam.
Very nice reading. You should stay and do one more, okay? Now, when you add the word sin to a verb, you guys remember?
Past tensilizer.
Already?
Now, in the case of a person who has already shoot,
Already entered the Mahayana.
they actually already into the Mahayana, but we taught them not so gongbas.
Various
types of meditation.
Yeah, we taught them very many different concepts. And I'm going to skip to the second line word because it's so cute. It reminds me of you.
Oh.
Go becomes mongba.
Their head gets so confused and diluted.
Yeah, they already in the Mahayana, but when you hit them with a lot of great ideas, They go, whoa, you know, go mumba means they're just like, whoa. Where do you get those ideas? Do gen ding dupa. You can say paro to chimba gen ding dupa. Yeah, the long pressure paramita, 100,000 verses. The medium pressure paramita, 18,000, 20,000, 25,000 verses. Or the dupa, only 8,000 verses. Etc. When they turn those great presentations with zillions of great ideas in them, especially about emptiness. Mong is a word that means like you're very drunk or something. It's like, like go mong. They get all go mong, you know. Their head gets all mumba. Okay. And we're hoping that we can pen talk. Here's the verb pen doc.
Benefit them?
We gotta give them a hand. We gotta lend them a hand. Pen doctor means, you know, we gotta reach out to them in their drunken confusion and help them out. Okay, these guys already shook. They already entered the Mahayana, but they're totally confused by it's really the breadth of the Mahayana. It's too confusing, so we have to reach out and grab them before they drown. Okay, that's purpose number 4. Here goes purpose number 5 from Lindsay.
We are at time, boss.
Rong Don
Changjin.
Trong Dun Guido de la Ga Dra Ji Shindu Zinpa Kakne
Yeah.
Tongpa Ni Ki Pa Wei Krakpa
Yeah.
Watang.
Nice, very nice, really nice. You have some talent for it. Here we go, Charlie. Yeah. So Changdun means it has to be interpreted. Like the Buddha said, kill your father and kill your mother. What he meant was be willing to leave the home life if you have a higher calling. Jesus said that his mother came and said, why can't I sit with my son? And he should come outside and meet his family. He said, I am with my family. I don't need to go outside, because he was sitting with his disciples. He told his mother, I am with my family. You don't have to ask me to go outside. So she's like, the Drangdun means it's not to be taken literally. There are scriptures meant to be taken figuratively. So that's Drangdun. Those scriptures, Dode, which are to be taken figuratively, not literally. Okay. Some people zimba them. They take them Jajishimba.
Exactly how they sound.
Literally. They take them literally. Oh, I better find a knife. You know, because I'm supposed to kill my mom and my dad. You know what I mean? So that's a huge mistake, right? Those people who they got teachings which were meant figuratively. And by the way, there's interesting presentations about the difference between figurative and literal and figurative, and there's very interesting distinctions in Tibetan. So anyway, Dajashimba means literally, and not to be interpreted. Okay, Dajashimba. Cock. We have to cock those people, or else they're gonna murder their parents. Okay, yeah, cock means we have to stop them. Okay, we have to stop those people who are misunderstanding what was meant figuratively and they're taking it literally. Because those kind of people will jakpa, jikpa, if they hear about Tombani.
They'll get
Just scare
afraid if
them.
they hear the real view of emptiness.
Effing freak out. Jak means terrified. Okay, jik means frightened. Jak means terrified. When they hear about emptiness and they think the whole world is nothing from an authoritative source, they'll freak out. So we gotta bang with that freak out. We gotta prevent that kind of a freak out. Okay. That's another reason why I wrote this book. Okay. Yeah.
Geshe, are these points by Gyaltsab or was Arya Sangas? Now,
Well, it's Gyaltsab's commentary, but if you follow the root text, you'll see he's following it pretty well.
I see.
Okay.
Okay.
But I would say this is Gyaltsab's comments. Yeah. We have time for one more?
We already
We're
over.
over
5
time,
minutes
yeah.
over, boss. And
If you want.
Let's do one more for good luck.
All night, all night, all night.
I have
All
got,
night, all night, all night.
I met some guy in Beijing actually who said if you teach all night, I'll invite the cook from the Hilton or something
Some 5 stars, yeah.
to make a ginseng pizza for you from an ancient ginseng. And I said, I'm into it. And we gave up around 3:00. But it was a wonderful night. You can guess it.
Shanghai.
Okay, Lindsay's gonna give us one more. Dupa.
Du pa la ga we do gor
More.
nor. Oh. Do le don tong ming. Ji nam rong ge war shepa nam dor du te ten pa tong.
Nice. This is the Doan Sutra, but it also means brief.
Brief.
Okay, so Dor Dupa means brief. Some people, gawa,
Some people get happy. They like it.
they enjoy a brief presentation. They're like, just give me the short book. Okay. Some people like a brief presentation. To them, more. Okay. Very delicate mistake here. Whoever made these mistakes was good. Okay. He had door for more. Okay. Really difficult. More means to them. Okay. To those kinds of people who like brief presentations, Dole Dun, you should shepa dordu. You should demba them dordu.
You should explain it briefly.
I'm a brief presentation for God's sake. They want brief, give them brief, okay? But you can take the sutras that discuss the meaning and the names and the synonyms in great detail and what do you call it?
Abbreviate.
Abbreviate it for them. What do you call it in text?
Condense.
Condense it for them. What do you call it? Cliff's notes. Right? Make it easy for them. Okay? Now, I'll give you 10 cents if you can guess the next one.
Long.
Yeah, some people like a long one. Then you should give them a long one. Okay, got it? But Stanley's going to translate 7, 8, and 9. Okay, Stanley's going to translate 7, 8, and 9 for next time. Okay.
Did we finish the whole sentence?
We did. Yeah. Dute temba goes together. And it means to present briefly, in brief. Dute temba means give them their presentation in little chunks, little pieces. Okay.
Instagram.
And they'll be happy.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Post.
TikTok.
Yeah, Instagram. I'm waiting for the day when you can't say TikTok because there's not enough time. Okay. Really?
thank you so much, Geshe
Thank
Michael.
you.
Thank you, Stanley. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, live translators. Please stay tuned, especially members of Wordsmith's Mixed Nerds Army of budding translators. Thank you so much, everybody. See you soon. Stay tuned. This Bat channel for Wordsmith. Thank you, Word, for doing this.
You're welcome. Wait, Geshe, can I ask you a question?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
We're almost out of there.
Can you give me a Dordu Ten Labop of Dani grammar case?
Yeah, I would love to. It's an oddity of the locative,
Yeah.
which means I like to say we elected him as president. It's the as. It's the as. It means for the basic object to become a specific form of that object. Oftentimes with people. Okay, or like that. Okay, how's that? That's the okay. Yeah.
I prefer
just as the preposition as in the sentence we elected him as president. Yeah. And which in Tibetan has to be a lagan, has to be a postposition. Yeah. Easy. Okay, see you later.
Bye again.
Luck on your class. You got, I don't know what you're doing, but they're sure learning well. It's kind of frustrating for me.
I don't know what I'm doing either again.
Yeah, that must be a trick.
Bye.